Assalamu alaikum ladies, hope you all are doing well. Today's video is going to be something very important. It's a very important topic, and it's I know I said that I was going to be doing a video by next week, but this topic I think is just so important that it couldn't really wait. I had a lot of in the past few weeks I have had a ton of girls, mashallah, who have emailed me and also who have left comments on Instagram photos and on YouTube videos saying that they either have just recently worn the hijab or are considering wearing the hijab. So I also have been getting a lot of questions asking for advice on, ways to wear the hijab for a newly hijabi, and also advice on wearing the hijab if, a girl is thinking of putting it on. I just want to apologize for the bad quality footage. I'm filming this on my laptop because I honestly couldn't be bothered to set up the camera and the lighting, and also this is just going to be a quick video with a few tips and tricks, a few advice and pieces of information that I think are very important for you to know. Alright, so you're thinking of wearing the hijab, but you're worried about people's criticism and people's negative energy towards you when you do wear the hijab, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. Everybody does it these days. Everyone has always something negative to say, and I think that that can actually build up your self-morale, I guess, to become a better Muslim and to block those people out of your life and say, you know what, I don't need this bad energy around me. I'm going to be myself and do what I need to do. And that's this is the kind of attitude that you have to have towards those people that are going to come into your life. Definitely will be coming into your life. I always have people, especially when I'm on holidays and I'm around 3 hours away, and there's people there that are not used to seeing a girl with a hijab look good. So some people say, oh, I like the scarf on your head, and I say thank you very much, and then they say, don't you get hot? And I hate that question because it's like, okay, well, I think everybody gets hot, but I'm just used to wearing the hijab, and it's not like I wrap layers and layers and layers of fabric around my head. It's just one piece of fabric, and it's like, for me, sun protection. So that should be something that you should just definitely block out. So my number one tip for wearing the hijab is do not wait for anybody's approval. This is exactly what I've written here in my book. Do not wait for anybody's approval, anybody's acceptance, anybody's okay for you to wear the hijab. Wearing the hijab is a complete choice made by you and the wearer of the hijab. You can't go up to your grandmother and say, should I wear the hijab? Because she's not going to know if you're ready or not. And by ready, I don't want any remarks about this word. By ready, I basically mean ready as in mentally, physically, and being able to say to people, okay, if they ask you why you're wearing the hijab, being able to give them a straightforward answer. I am trying to do good in my religion. I want to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm not doing it for anybody else. This is my personal request of myself, is to wear the hijab. So this is something that you got to be prepared for when you wear the hijab. So as I said, do not wait for anybody's approval or acceptance. As I said before, you're going to get negative comments and remarks, and people saying, oh, you look ugly, and people saying, oh, doesn't suit you or whatever. They're going to try putting you off of the whole idea. But the idea here is for you to be yourself and have a positive attitude going into wearing the hijab. So that's my number one tip. Let's make sure this is recording. Okay. Alright, so yeah, don't wait for anybody's approval. You make your decision and you stick by that. My second tip, and a very important one as well, is to be prepared beforehand. And this means two things. Number one is being prepared by reading about wearing the hijab, and I don't mean reading on people's blogs. I mean reading as in going to hadith books and asking a sheikh and being like, okay, I want to wear the hijab. I want to know the proper reason for wearing the hijab, and you should know the proper reason before putting the hijab on. You shouldn't put it on because, oh, you know what, hijabistas have become very popular nowadays, so I want to become one of them. No, that's not a proper reason to wear a hijab. The proper reason is to stick by what we have been told in the Quran and in the hadith, is to do it for the right reason and to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to complete a section in our religion. So, okay, another thing, number two in being prepared is basically being prepared with your hijabs and clothes, and obviously that's something very important because You know, although you may have a closet full of clothing, but they might all be short sleeve, they might all be mini skirts, they might be tight clothes. You might already be a modest dresser, so that's actually a plus if you are a modest dresser, is that you only need to buy a few hijabs. If you have a sister or mum who wears the hijab already, you may be able to borrow some scarves from them to begin with, so that's also a good tip. What to buy when you're putting the hijab on: lots of plain colored clothing, lots of plain long cardigans, maxi dresses, long blouses, plain hijabs, any color you can think of, plain hijabs. Lots of caps for underneath the hijab. Buy essentials, don't go buying purples and pinks, just buy essential colors, light colors like grays and whites and dusty pinks, and then buy like a black, which is going to be probably your go-to hijab cap anyway. And when you first put the hijab on, try to stick to light colors at the beginning. Don't jump straight to bold and out there patterns, because it's kind of going to take away from the pureness of you just putting the hijab on. So try to stick to lights, you know, little floral prints, very basic outfits and styles. So yeah, that's my advice on being prepared. The next tip that I'm going to give is do it for the right reasons. This kind of relates to not waiting for anybody's approval as well, but you know, this is a tip where it's going back a lot to religion. So when you're doing it for the right reasons, I mean, I've actually written here, please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not the society. So by society, it could be your family, it could be your friends that you surround yourself with, it could be just people in general in public. So basically, don't do it to please society, is all those people that are around you, all the people that you see. Don't do it just to please them. Don't say, okay, they're not going to like it, so I'm not going to do it. Because as I said, that's not really a good reason. That's a really bad reason. So do it to please Allah, and of course to, you know, just become closer with, in your religion. So basically, when you wear the hijab, I believe that when you wear the hijab, you feel this part inside of you that is just, you feel, how can I explain this? You feel pure. You feel like all your bad sins have been banished, and you feel like you're starting from fresh, and you feel like you just, you know, you got this piece of cloth over your head covering you from the evil and covering you from badness. I know this may sound extreme, but that's just how everyone interprets it in their own way, and I think that's how I interpret it. So yeah, do it for the right reasons. Number 4 in my tip book, no, I've probably said more than 4, but yeah, is if you feel embarrassed to wear it, which there is no reason for you to be, but you know every person is different. I personally was never embarrassed, but if you are a very shy and embarrassed person and you are so embarrassed to wear it around public, then what you should do is put the hijab on at home. And I know this may sound a bit weird, and there might be a bit of controversy here. I am not saying that you have to wear the hijab at home. I'm just saying if you're embarrassed to wear it in public, then you should try just wearing it around the house. You know, try different styles out and be like, okay, well, you know, if you know your family will be like, okay, you know, this one looks good on you and whatnot. So yeah, just wear it around the house, and maybe then you will start to get used to it, so that when you do go out in public, you've already sort of gotten the hang of it. And also, like, if you're going to a relative's house that you're very close to and won't criticize you, then also wear it to their house, just to kind of try it out. Okay guys, so the next tip is to experiment with different styles and hijabs. So, you know, as you all know, there are different sizing in hijabs these days. I own an online boutique, so I'm very familiar with sizing and measurements and all that stuff. So you've got rectangle shaylas, you've got small shaylas, you have small squares, you have big squares, you have maxi hijabs, you have a million varieties of hijabs, you got jilbabs, you have a niqab, of course, if you're into that as well. So basically, you choose a hijab that's suitable for you. As I said, if you have a family member that also wears a hijab, check out their hijab sizes, try them on, see which one suits you, and go ahead and buy those ones. So I personally started wearing the hijab as a square, you know, the ones that you fold in a triangle. So I started wearing it like that because rectangles weren't really in at that time. So and then afterwards, obviously I've had the hijab on for a long time, so I am pretty much, I've experted every single hijab site out there. I've tried every single one and I've perfected each one. So I think that that's what you need to do. You just have to practice with a style and then go ahead and try that out and start using it. So of course, and also with patterns and prints as well. So practice with plain shaylas and plain square hijabs, and then go to floral and see which ones suit you and which ones you think would look best. And this is also a tip for those of you who just started wearing the hijab, because even if you just started, a lot of people don't actually know, they still don't know how to wear the hijab, and they're just wearing it the way that they've been taught by their mum or something. So that's definitely up to you. The next thing I've written here is don't limit yourself from activities. This is another one for those of you who have just worn it recently. Don't limit yourself from activities. So don't think, okay, oh man, I wear the hijab, I can't swim at the beach. They cater for all types of hijab wearers these days. So if you wear the hijab, normally they cater for you. If you wear the jalbab, they'll cater for you. If you wear the niqab, they cater for you. If you wear any type of scarf in the world, they will cater for you. If you want to go swimming, they have those swimming costumes. What are they called? They're called something. The bikinis. They definitely have those. So there's heaps of things out there for you, no matter what type of hijab wearer you are. So don't limit yourself at all. As I said, if you want to go swimming, you can still do that. No, even if you wear the hijab. If you want to go shopping, personally, when I go shopping, I don't like to spend too long, because I feel like there's too much people and it kind of gets very, I don't know, it's just too crowded, and I don't like being around too much people. And it's actually stated somewhere in a hadith or something, I'm not 100% sure, but when you need to go to the shops and get something, get in and get out, and don't take too long in there, because when there's a lot of crowd, it's a lot of mixture of people and things. So try to get in and get out, but still don't limit yourself. You can obviously go to the shops and stuff like that, but try not to be too long in there. What else? Any other activity? Obviously we're not going to go bungee jumping here, because we don't want our scarf to fly off. We're not going to go, or you can go parasailing and stuff like that. So obviously there are things that you have to limit yourself from, like jumping off a plane, but a lot of people still do that and it works. But I personally think my scarf will fly off. But anyway, okay, so another one is to surround yourself with supportive people. This one's an important one, because your surroundings and your circle of friends and circle of people that you hang out with, they play a big role in your decisions and in your lifestyle. So if you wear the hijab and you have a friend that says to you, oh, you look ugly, or it doesn't suit you, she's obviously not a very supportive person, and she's just trying to put down your mood to wear the hijab. So surround yourself with supportive people. Hang around with people that are gonna talk to you and say to you, okay, just put the hijab on, like it's part of our religion, we have to do it, and we'll learn to love it along the way. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely that's something that you have to do, is surround yourself with the right kind of people, the right kind of supporting system, and that is obviously family and friends and loved ones. So always try to be positive around people and get people that are positive around you. So it's a one-way street, really. Okay, we're nearly finished here. So the next one is to set a goal and just do it. So if you don't wear the hijab, this is a lifestyle tip anyway. Set a goal and do it. But for those of you who have yet to wear the hijab, and you're thinking you don't know when, and you just don't think you can, you're not going to get it done, set a goal for yourself. So say, okay, I'm going to wear the hijab in the next 2 weeks on this date, and just do it. It's that simple. Like, just set the goal and do it. I'm sure if you set a birthday date for a birthday party, you'll definitely do it. I'm sure if you set a day for your wedding, you'll definitely do it. If you set a day for a big, huge party for your child, you'll definitely do it. So why not set a day to wear the hijab and do it? It's so much easier to set a goal about religion and do it, because you get an amazing reward. But when you set a birthday and you do it, you don't get really anything in return. You just get older. So just do it. That's it. Use the Nike motto. Just do it. Don't come up with excuses for yourself. There's actually a website on Google that says the top 11 excuses people come up with for not wearing the hijab. And I think one of them was, I'm scared that if I wear it, I'm going to take it off. And another one was, I want to, but my mum won't let me. And another one was, what was it? My friends think I'm ugly with it on, or something like that. So obviously there's a lot of talk behind wearing the hijab, and you know what, it's so simple. Reward yourself by doing it, and you know the reward will be massive in the end. Okay, so the next tip and the last tip is to start and continue with a positive attitude. I did say this before, but this is just to close it off. Start and continue with a positive attitude. So start off, wear the hijab with positive attitude. Block out negative energy. People talking and chatting, you look ugly, you this, you that. Block it out and say, listen, this is who I am from now on. And if you don't like it, don't look at me. You know what I mean? So start off with a positive attitude and say, you know what, this is me, and I'm gonna stick by this. Nothing wrong with that. So and continue with a positive attitude. Of course, when you're wearing the hijab, you got to have a positive attitude no matter what. And to have a positive attitude, you have to be confident, and confidence is something very hard for a lot of girls to achieve these days. And I can see that by a lot of the emails I receive. A lot of girls are very self-conscious about the way they look, and it kills me because you guys are beautiful, and he's just always complaining about how you look. And guys, there are so many less fortunate than us, and that's one thing that you have to understand. I have so many flaws that I look at myself and say, oh, I wish I didn't have this, I wish I had this. But guys, it's so, like, it's just such a small thing to worry about. It's a minority, and you guys have to really realize that, as I said, there are so many less fortunate than us, and you know, we should just be grateful for what we have, and grateful that we have 10 fingers, 2 hands and 2 feet and an entire body, and body organs and features that we can work with. You know, some people don't have those. So let's be grateful and stop worrying about what people are going to think of us when we put the hijab on. It's something so small to worry about. Let's just worry about putting it on and doing the right thing. So I'm sure if you can follow your country's regulations and rules and laws, you can follow our Islamic laws and rules. So that is, one of them is wear the hijab and just be happy when you wear it. Okay guys, so I think that's all for my tips. That's all I've written really. I've written 10 tips, but I think along the way I added some. So I just want you guys to be happy with what your decision is. Don't put it off. Don't say I'm not ready. You're always going to be ready. You just need a little push, you need a little motivation, you need a little information about the hijab before wearing it. So I'm very happy that I got this. I'm going to get this video up before next week, because like I said, I think this topic is very important and it can't wait until next week. So I really sincerely hope that this video has helped and given you an insight on wearing the hijab. I hope that it's helped you, give you a bit of more information, given you the push that you need to put the hijab on. I really, really, really do. Putting the hijab on is something that will change your life forever. Do not put it on in the hopes that you will, you know, become a fashionista. Put it on for the right reasons, and don't worry about what everyone else says. Do it for yourself. Do it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're doing something for your religion, not for society, as I said before. You know, just be yourself, and you know, and of course Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will test you along the way. You might hit some rock bottoms, you might hit some walls, you might hit some barriers, and you're going to just have to learn to overcome them and pass a test that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is throwing at you. So hey guys, so hope you all enjoyed, hope this helped, and inshallah I will see you next time. Sorry for rambling, this does not close. Okay, love you all, bye. Mwah.